All right, we're live. Welcome everyone to our latest Duda webinar. I'm Scotty Strelo, our social media. Sorry, I was getting an echo. But yes, I'm our social media and community manager here at Duda. And today we have a lovely guest with us. Mari Smith, since 2007, has been known as the premier Facebook marketing expert and one of the top social media thought leaders. In fact, she's often referred to as the queen of Facebook. Meta hired Mari on numerous occasions in London, Dublin, and throughout the United States to provide training and support for small businesses. She's a popular keynote speaker at major industry conferences, and is the only expert invited to return each year to speak at Social Media Marketing World in San Diego since its inception in 2013. Mari is also the author of The New Relationship Marketing, and her passion project for the past several years is professional studies of the human design system. She integrates aspects of human design into her social media services in order to help her clients grow their businesses in a much more authentic, impactful, and successful way. So, welcome to the webinar, Mari. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Scotty. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here. I'm really looking forward to this. I've prepared a wonderful presentation. If anybody hasn't heard me speak before, I am Scottish, Canadian, and American, I guess, just by living here for so many years. So I actually have 3 citizenships, 3 passports. Very blessed to have that. So depending on who I'm speaking to, my accent's all over the place. And I love your name, Scotty.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm just based here in the U.S., born and raised in the Midwest, and I'm joining from our Colorado office.
Nice.
Although we're a global company, so we're all over the place: Brazil and Israel, Canada, and then a few people scattered everywhere. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and welcome everyone that's joining. I know we have some people joining from all over the world, if time permits or your sleep schedule permits. So anyone that's joining, feel free to let us know in the comments where you're joining from. We'd love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be great. We can dive right in, Scotty. If we want to bring my slides up, or did you want to say anything else?
No, I think only thing I'll say is that this is definitely an exciting topic. As our social media manager here at Duda, Meta is always something I'm trying to stay on top of, and things change every day. So what works today doesn't always work tomorrow. So I think hopefully everyone here shares my enthusiasm. I'm excited to go through some of these great slides that you have. I looked at them before, and we do have some people joining. So we have Mariela from Guatemala City, Catherine from Cambridge, and Carol from Duda's office in Brazil. And we have someone from our office here, Terry. Hey, Terry. Rasul from Kazakhstan. Great. So we do have people joining all over.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very good.
But yes, floor is yours. Let's dive into your presentation.
Great. If you can bring my slides up, please, Anton. Beautiful. Welcome. All right. Hi, Catherine. Nice to see you here. Beautiful. And Carol and Terry. Beautiful. Thanks for being here. So as Scotty mentioned there, Duda is putting this on specifically for agencies, and I crafted my talk so it's not just for agencies. If you're tuning in here or catching the replay and you're not necessarily running an agency, all good. We've got you. There's plenty here for you to take away. So what we're going to cover, I've put a little agenda here together for you. We'll start out with the Meta AI status update, as I call it, and then we'll talk about the AI-powered algorithms, what is driving what you see in your feeds across Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. Meta AI for ads. I know a lot of you agencies here no doubt run ads for your clients, so there's a lot of AI starting to get baked into Ads Manager. Meta Business AIs, which is something that Mark Zuckerberg personally is extremely excited about. I am too. I think this could really be a game changer. A couple of other things that you'll need to know. I really want to make sure that you understand what this new unified metric is. And then we'll take a dive into finally wrapping up of what is working today with Facebook marketing. So starting out with your AI status update, as I call it. So who would agree with me right now that there's basically an arms race? I put this slide in here like a boxing match. It's basically a fight to see who can dominate the world of AI. And of course, OpenAI, Sam Altman, he got a head start. It was October, November of 2022. So we're now entering into the third year of having ChatGPT at our disposal. And I think what's happened is I know what's happened is that so many marketers, businesses, consumers have adopted ChatGPT, including on the mobile device, voice activated. I know they're shipping some crazy amount of new updates right now. Sora, making the movies or the videos, and the new $200 a month plan, you name it. So you can imagine that Zuckerberg, because he's so competitive, he wants to just be right up there as strong as OpenAI. So you got Meta AI, of course, Google, Microsoft, X, the works. And this is just a tiny list. There's boatloads more AI tools and companies, right? Many of you know that Zuckerberg is exceedingly competitive. This is an AI generated image. I'm sure the 5-chain look has meaning to some people here. And you'll know the little animals in the background there. They are llamas, and that is the name of Meta's large language model, which is basically the simplest way to put it. It is this big repository of data that gathers information that they can then build their AI, artificial intelligence, and platforms, programs, features on top of. Now, if there's one thing Zuckerberg has, it's a boatload of money. Of course, they are a $1 trillion company. This is the largest American companies by market cap. And you'll see Meta has held their place at number 6 for quite a while. NVIDIA, of course, the company that makes the processors and the GPUs, graphic processing units, they're just flying up that chart. But so Zuckerberg he's a $1 trillion company, right? And one thing he's been obsessed with since the beginning, 2007, since he launched Facebook, is domination. Apparently, he used to go around chanting domination at Facebook meetings. There was a book that came out a few years ago called The Inside Story, Facebook, The Inside Story by Stephen Levy. And so we know, watching this arms race, this boxing match with AI, not just generative AI, but artificial general intelligence, which is really going way, way beyond and having almost like sentient being robots doing things for us. Of course, Elon Musk is all in on that right now. But we just have to keep a close eye on what Zuckerberg is about with AI, because, he's been obsessed with domination, obsessed with Roman emperors, Augustus, Caesar here. He named all 3 of his daughters after Roman emperors. So
I didn't know that. That is commitment. That is
dedication. Isn't it just? August Aurelius, and forgetting the third one's name, but somebody will pop it in the chat. Okay, so Meta AI, and Zuckerberg just announced this about a few days ago, literally, that there are 600 million monthly active users of the Meta AI assistant. And he's declaring boldly, and has been all year, that the Meta AI is on track to be the most used AI assistant in the world by the end of this year, which is like a few weeks away. Now, guess what? He can declare that, and this is Mari's own personal take on it, and I'm sure many of you will agree. It's the most used because it's the most prevalent. It's shoved in our faces in every nook and cranny. You go to use your search now, it's at the top of your search. You go to use your DMs, the little logo, of course, that little colorful circle is the logo or the icon for Meta AI. And you'll see even dances. It spins around and dances like, use me, like a little flashing lights, right? And it's inside of Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Instagram, and you all can go to Meta.ai. Now, let us know in the chat here if you're tuning in live, or you're catching us on YouTube, or wherever you're dialing in from, or you're watching from. Do you have access to Meta.ai or not? I know it's not fully rolled out to the whole world, but it's in something like, last I looked, if I'm not mistaken, something like 40 countries. 40 different countries. Europe taking a little bit of time because there's just a bit more regulations, but you can literally go to your browser and go Meta.ai, and it is really good. It's lightning fast. It's great with images. Sometimes even better than ChatGPT. I believe that they're probably going to bake it right into Meta Business Suite. And then some of you will have seen the Meta MovieGen. That's currently in R&D right now, research and development. And I'm sure that Mark Zuckerberg will be stepping on the gas pedal now that OpenAI just launched a much more powerful version of Sora. So Alan is saying, oh, wait a minute. Mariella says that you do have access. Letterpress communications. I have access, but I imagine it has some serious issues with fingers and hands. It does. It does. It still does. I was playing around with it yesterday, making a slide deck for a class I have coming up, and I just, yeah, the fingers. I think just about every one of these tools struggles with fingers.
Yeah.
Okay, very
Put
good.
that into your prompt, right? No, don't show any fingers or toes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like leave them out. This is just a screenshot. You can see the URL I included in there. You can go to like ai.meta.com, or actually the quickest, easiest way if you want to search what MovieGen is about, just go to your browser and just search for Meta MovieGen. And this is just a screenshot. I don't have any movement in the slides because it just works better with StreamYard when you pre-upload them. Normally I would have movement with PowerPoint, but this is actually a little video clip, and they show you all of the possibilities, or just like a small selection of what you can do with the MovieGen. It's pretty amazing. Oh, that's cool. Mary Alice says I use it on WhatsApp. And somebody pointed this out to me. If I go back a slide, somebody pointed this out to me, the 600 million monthly active users. And I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. That's just because it's baked in everywhere. And someone made a comment who's like real power user, somewhere in Europe, I think it was, and on WhatsApp. So I thought, oh yeah, of course, that might be what's really accelerating or inflating these users. Is not inflating because it's correct, presumably, but we have more users, on the WhatsApp. So anyway, I put this post out. You can see the date there, November 8th. This is on my Facebook page. And I just decided to poll my audience, which I do periodically, and saying, hey, if you had to choose only one, ChatGPT or Meta AI, and, I gave them an option. If you go, okay, fine. Oh, how did that just suddenly come up? Who did that? Who did you put that in there?
That might have been Anton. Sometimes he surprises
Oh,
us with other images.
it's like, we've got a StreamYard bomber.
Oh, goodness. Yep, that's
You're
terrifying.
funny. Okay, that was not part of my slides. I did not make that image. That was a little surprise, a little Easter egg, right? So I posed this question, and I'm telling you, nobody picked Meta AI. Everybody's using ChatGPT or some other one, Magi, Google Gemini. But a few people, including myself, said, I tend to use Meta AI for images. Sometimes they just do a better job making images. Now, of course, Zuckerberg wants us all to use these glasses, right? The Ray-Ban smart glasses. And here's what he said just recently. Over time, I think a lot of us are going to talk to AIs frequently throughout the day. I'm sure many of you here are already trying it out on your phone. You can do audio with Meta AI. And talk to it, and it talks back. Same with obviously ChatGPT. But here he goes saying, and I think a lot of us are going to do that using glasses. Well, of course he's going to say that. He has a vested interest because of the glasses. Does anybody here own a pair of Ray-Bans, Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses? I'd be curious. What?
Oh, two pairs.
They are awesome and cheaper than a pair of Ray-Bans and good earbuds. Okay, good to know. That's wild, eh, Scotty?
Yeah.
And I wonder though if you're using them. This person is using them for excuse me, for recording videos, because that's one of the things that Zuckerberg wants. I got to tell you, Scotty, that's what makes me feel uneasy. Is if I pop these on and I'm just going about my day and I got them on recording, it's like it's taking in everything. I don't think it's tracking eye movements and sentiments and all that, but that part it's too far for me. I like to have a private life. Anyway, moving on.
I agree.
Go
Maybe
ahead.
if I was using them at work for a specific project, just as long as I know I have a time frame, I'm using this for a specific thing. Keeping them on all day, that I don't know. Don't use the bathroom or something, like that's just
It's recording everything. I suppose there's it's on or it's off, but I don't know. Anyway, obviously Google Glass, they tried hard years back, didn't they? They were first to market, or one of them anyway. Yeah. So this is a slide I like to put in to remind us all that we, for years and years and years, those of us like Scotty, that work in the business all day, every day, doing social media marketing, you got 5 billion people, spending 3 to 4 hours a day, bouncing around between 7 and 9 apps each month. And then new apps are coming out almost daily. So you're in this total overwhelm, hard to keep up. We just at the very beginning there, and Scotty was like, okay, we've got to keep on top of what's happening with Meta. And then, of course, add to that, now you've got AI saturation, because I wouldn't say saturation, but overwhelm certainly is probably a more accurate word, because even though, as we mentioned, ChatGPT has been around for 2 years, there's still a lot of folks out there that are just completely like a deer in the headlights, not even sure where to start with it all. So plus add to this, look at this slide here from MarTech map. They do this every year. This is the 2024 marketing technology landscape, super graphic. Like if we zoomed into every one of those tiny, tiny little pixels, each one represents a company, a tool, 14,000 marketing technology products, with an almost 30% growth year over year. It's astounding. It's too much. It's no wonder we're getting more gray hairs.
Yeah, where to start? Where to start?
Yeah, where to start, right? Exactly. Forbes, now this was interesting. This was just back in July. Forbes published this article that 77% of employees report AI has increased workloads and hampered productivity. And I'll tell you, probably the reason is because companies are rolling out AI in a very unstructured fashion and just throwing spaghetti at the wall, and as opposed to being very deliberate and putting real step-by-step kinds of programs with training and whatnot. And back to social media in particular, this slide I like to put up is like more content is not the answer. Just because you can press a button, oh my God, I can create 300 posts in 3 minutes flat, and they'll just go sip cocktails on the beach while my social media does itself. But I don't know if you all have heard of this saying, slop. I literally just learned that term the other day. I wasn't familiar with it yet, but it's basically just generic AI produced slop, which is dominating our feeds now. And it's getting to the point where we're like, wait a minute, is that real? Is that not real? So we just have to be careful with all that. I love this quote by Seth Godin, brilliant marketer, author. If your work isn't more useful or insightful or urgent than GPT, any generative AI can create. Now he said 12 seconds. We could even narrow that down to 2 seconds. Don't bother interrupting people with it. Amen, Seth. I totally agree with this, because it's like, it's not about fire hosing, as I had in this previous slide. It's not about fire hosing your audience with just boatloads. Oh my God, we can do even more content. It's just generic, vanilla, homogenized. And then it's another term for slop sometimes is synthetic media. It's fake, right? Is it causing an erosion of trust? I will tell you, I know for a fact it's this is me like thumbing through my feed and about to hit the like or the love or the wow button and go, wait a minute, that's not even real. And I got to tell you, Scotty, I'm sure you'll agree that I am such an evangelist, an advocate for authentic, transparent, responsible use of AI. I personally love that Meta is automatically putting a watermark on images and videos created with their tools. Videos is not out yet, but it will be with the MovieGen. So, and some people, oh, why does it have that watermark on it? I'm like, I'm glad it has a watermark on it. Yeah. Let's tell people that it's created by AI.
I mean, at this point, any celebrity photo I see, sometimes I just think, is this really the celebrity? Is it someone just, because again, like, I don't know, people love to do things with celebrities. It's like, is that even a real post by them? Or just extreme touch-ups. You just never know.
Right. It's a real fad that's doing the rounds right now, is that people are just loving to make AI produced images of themselves. And that's what Meta wants. They are encouraging you to take a selfie, take a picture from your front side, left side, right side, and then just, we'll imagine myself as an astronaut, imagine myself as a unicorn, whatever. And it's like, okay, fun. There's a playful fun factor, but it's novelty will wear off quick enough. Then it's like, what concerns me is when people are like making it their profile picture, and I'm concerned about the people's like perception and relationship with themselves and the mental health aspects of that, where we get used to seeing these like really polished, touched up images of ourselves, and we don't like what we see in the actual mirror. So anyway, what I have on my slide here, we're being programmed that it's all about pushing out more content and even like monetizing your content. Come on, be a creator. Everybody can be a creator. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Be a creator. Publish masses of content. Monetize your content. They dangle all these carrots. Come on. Well, I know we're speaking to agencies here, so maybe the agencies are not quite as caught up in that being a creator, or even the agency's clients, but I'm here to say no, we are not puppets on the marionettes or the meta marionettes on a string here. I say it's time to take back control. I say that authenticity is making a comeback. I've been in social media since 2007. And I got to tell you, when the original, back in the day, everybody was like, oh, you got to be authentic. You got to be authentic. Social media isn't about selling. Social media is about building relationships and just connecting with people. And my book, The New Relationship Marketing, that's the new part, is this technology, this social media part of it, the digital relationships. But back then, Scotty, what was funny is that authentic meant like, okay, here's what I had for breakfast, or here's, just like two TMI. And fine, if you're a foodie, fine. But and then it got diluted. It got so diluted that people were like, okay, no. I'm saying here that because AI is so dominant, the authenticity is making a comeback, and it is your competitive advantage. So with that, thank you, Mariella. Yes, authentic, transparent, responsible use. It should be a mantra. I appreciate that, Mariella.
Yeah. I mean, for businesses and personal, but
Yeah.
I think one of the things too, when I'm using AI to create social media content, I think it's a lot more like I'll use AI to help me kind of generate some ideas and thoughts. And then I take that and think, okay, how is this going to be relatable to my audience? How can I actually form this in a way that's the voice that I want? It's if you can go a step above just the copy and paste from something you got, I think already speaks volumes to you, hopefully understanding your customers or your audience or any, like you want that relatability, right. You want that authenticity that can just be missed when, you say, hey, generate 10 posts for me. Great. I'll schedule those. I won't even think about it. I think that's missing the mark.
Exactly. Thanks, Anton, for another little AI creator there. I saw that flash on the screen. Mariella, I love that. Authenticity should be the social currency. Beautiful. So let's talk about the AI-powered algorithms. If you don't know how your feed works, a lot of people do. You'll see them frustrated. They're like, oh my God, I'm not seeing any content from my friends anymore. What happened? Facebook's all ads. But the thing is, it's actually now the social graph is being replaced by the interest graph. It's no longer the friend graph. It's not just, you still definitely have friends. You see content from your friends. And the more you interact with certain people and accounts, the more, hopefully, ideally, you'll see their content. But as much as 50% of the content you see in your feed across Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and I believe even LinkedIn is copying that now. Certainly TikTok. That basically, this is content that's suggested for you. Gary Vaynerchuk, longtime industry friend of mine, I've known him since 2007, and he's really on his soapbox right now about this concept of, wow, everybody now stands a chance of being able to have any single piece of content could go viral, quote unquote. And so because of the way it can be recommended. So this was actually, I think I have the date on there somewhere, but it was actually, I think several years ago. Maybe I don't see the date, but this is a screenshot from several years ago, because this is where it started. It started several years ago. I think people are just only now realizing it. Oh, okay. It's not so much friends connected. It's about this recommendation, which in essence, TikTok basically pioneered. It was what made TikTok so successful. So this is what I just mentioned about 50% or more even of all your feed content is suggested for you. Gary Vaynerchuk, I think I heard him say this the other day there. He's like, well, we even need followers in the future, because you could have an account with, 500 followers and suddenly you get this viral hit that gets millions of views. That's far-fetched, but it does happen. I've seen it happen, compared to someone who has millions and they're barely getting a few, because they're not producing as quality the content. So the content really needs to be quality and relevant. And interestingly enough, Gary Vaynerchuk said that the only AI he's really interested in right now is the one that powers these social media algorithms, because of the fact that organic social is the starting point for all social media. Okay, so this is the coolest thing ever. If we take off our consumer hats and going like, oh, I'm frustrated not being able to see content from my friends, we put our marketer hats on, we're like, wait a minute. Oh, I could just let these feed algorithms test. You can test and iterate at low to no cost. And I call them unicorn posts, which is basically posts that perform, better than your other ones. So maybe 2x, 5x, 10x better in terms of reach, engagement, views. And so now you can proactively measure creativity before investing a single dollar in your paid ad campaigns. That's the beauty of how these algorithms are working. So now we come to the paid side and we flip to the Meta AI in Ads Manager. Some of you will have this already. It's definitely rolling out. Some of the features are a little bit in beta, but AI, so this is what Meta's saying this point blank, that second bullet there, the AI use in ads results in 11% higher click-through rate and a 7.6% higher conversion rate. So anytime I highlighted in yellow there that anything with the advantage of the wee plus sign, it's AI powered. And I've just put 3 of them. There's more than this, but I've just put the main ones. Some of you have experienced it. So like Advantage Plus Creative, you upload an image and the AI will enhance it. It will take out the background and put a different one in. You're in the business of selling furniture and you've got this sofa, this sectional, white sectional, and you have it put that into all kinds of beautiful living rooms, and you could then test which one performs best in your ad campaigns. Certainly Advantage Plus targeting, you can find users who are like your IC's ideal customer avatar, of course, beyond your suggestion. So one of the examples, actually, I think I have it on my next slide. So I'll give you details on the Advantage Plus targeting in a second. And then there's the shopping campaigns. Anybody here who has a shop or your clients have a shop, you have multi-catalogs, the AI is going to really test out a lot of in carousel ads are really great format for that. So what it is Meta actually wants us to take our hands off the steering wheel, so to speak, as much as possible when it comes to optimizing ad campaign performance. Yes, you can see with that little watermark in the bottom left corner, that is a Meta AI image. I struggled to get anything remotely usable on this one, Scotty.
Yeah.
He doesn't look that photorealistic. So
No,
yeah,
he's got 2 eyes and his hands look semi-normal, so it's a win.
yeah, exactly. God, the first one, this was my 3rd attempt, because the first one, it had 3 steering wheels and hands flying everywhere. And I'm like, okay, no, you missed the mark there.
It's times like those where it actually is a little comforting that AI isn't too perfect yet
Yeah,
at doing
exactly.
something. So, man, the day it is, then I don't know.
Yeah.
A little scary to think about.
Yeah, truly. So, friends, this is the slide I mentioned that was coming up. It's a lot of information on this slide, but this is directly from Meta. This is hot off the press from Meta. One of their slides that they gave me, slide decks. But it's basically, they call it your trusted targeting levers. So if you look on the left-hand side, basically you're looking at a baseball hat company, and they're targeting men age 18 to 35 who are interested in baseball and running, and retargeting website visitors. And they show you in that inner circle with the green, those are the people that meet the audience, but they're missing a whole bunch of other people. They're missing someone who's, someone who's over 50, some females, or maybe baseball caps for different reasons. And so then on the right-hand side, there's, okay, if you enable this Advantage Plus audience, it expands it beyond who you've kind of tightly set. No, I only want these people. Basically, with the previous slide, the hands off the steering wheel, is Meta is saying, look, our Advantage Plus AI features here, we're going to know and find your audience so much easier and quicker and better than you, beyond what you even realized was available. So that's the Advantage Plus targeting. But be careful and keep an eye on it. I caution you, because it's still early days yet. And in many of my own classes, my Facebook marketing classes that I teach, and my Facebook group that I run, many of my audience members are saying, we tried it and it totally missed the mark. It was showing our ads to completely the wrong kinds of target market. So be careful on that one. It can work. I've heard some positives and some negatives, and that's just the nature of the beast right now, because it's early days.
Yeah.
So
if you go back a slide, actually,
yes, dear.
It is interesting because I could see that, maybe this could be done in a really small A/B test, right? Or something. You use a little bit of budget for to see which, with or without the Advantage Plus does better, and then maybe that can help your direction. And I'm also curious, because how much would you maybe recommend providing yourself in terms of targeting, and then add Advantage Plus, because some people will try to drill down into so much outside, or, in addition to men age 18 to 35, some people have really custom lists. Just curious if you have any recommendations here. If someone wants to try it, how much should they add before turning on that Advantage Plus?
Right. Well, there's 2 areas here, Scott. I'm going to put my glasses on because I can feel my eyes straining. There's 2 areas where they call them suggestions versus controls. So let's say you're an alcohol company, and you are, you need to reach people age 21 and over. Well, that's a control. Or you're a local business in a specific geographic area, and you're going to put a certain zip code or mile radius. That's a control. You're saying, okay, fine, have at it, AI, go beyond what I've suggested, but don't go beyond these parameters. So those would be, like I say, things like age, geographics. There's a couple of other parameters there too. Whereas on the suggestion side, you can be pretty darn broad. You might say, I don't know, female business owners in their 50s, and that's it. Well, maybe pop one interest in there. And also, though, see, it's so fascinating how it's still early days, but how the AI is working. It's going to go out and the Meta AI's Advantage Plus features. It's going to go and look at your website, your page, your past performance, the ads, the content is like so many data points. And then it's crunching it all together, and it's come up with all of these possible people that have maybe expressed interest in yourself, your business, or competitors. And that's how it's able to kind of push out these concentric circles. So it's able to find people that you hadn't really thought of finding before. So Anyway, hope that answers your question. But yeah, that's a good one. And I agree with you too on that. What's that, Scotty?
Oh, I just said, yeah, thank you. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say about agree with you on the allocating budget. Just nominal amounts is like maybe even else doing campaigns. Okay, this one we're going to do specific controls. This one we're just going to do suggestions and let it run with a nominal budget. And supposedly, like I had that on that previous slide here, Meta has a vested interest in saying this, of course, but there you go, saying 11% higher click-through rate, 7.6 conversion rate. And they're just saying AI use in general. So that would be whether you've enhanced your images or you've used a placement as another Advantage Plus placement. I usually let them handle that. Unless, if you have an agency here that's, we only want to do Reels ads, don't mess around with our Reels. We're just going to do Reels ads on Instagram. So you would get in there and tell it what placements you want. Otherwise, I usually recommend just leave the Advantage Plus placements on. One thing too, to caveat or caution, mind you, I'm just realizing with the Advantage Plus audience is you don't want to end up using up a lot of your ad budget in countries that are just absolutely not a match for you, right? If you just, there's a certain country you never get clients from, then that's probably a caveat there to think about. All right, so let's talk about the Meta Business AIs. This is, I mentioned earlier that Zuckerberg is really, really all in on this. And this particular quote here, I wrote the whole thing out in full. He said this back in July on the Q2 earnings call. Business AIs are the other big piece here. We're still in alpha testing with more and more businesses, and the feedback we're getting is positive so far. Now, this bit, I emphasis added by me, the bolded bit. Over time, I think that just like every small business has a website, social media presence, and email address, in the future, every small business will also have an AI agent that their customers can interact with. What do you think of that, Scotty? Would you agree?
I'd have to agree. Yeah. I mean, I think a good amount of our customers, anyone that's listening, even let us know if you use an AI chatbot on your website, because I think that's becoming a new standard as well. Like, how can I interact and learn more? People are used to having conversations or hopefully pulling up things fast. So
that's right.
I definitely see that on the website front here due to AI chatbots. How can we interact and learn more quickly? And then I think that's even more helpful if you have an e-commerce store, right? Looking for a specific product or making requests, or again, if you need customer support and or maybe just a 2-person team, 1-person team. Help can only really enhance how much you can do if done right.
Yeah, exactly. If done right, you're absolutely right. Yeah. So the bit that I highlighted in yellow, you're spot on there. It's really about quickly setting up these business AIs that talk to their customers, offer support, and facilitate commerce. So if we can use these business AIs that Meta is going to be providing, some of them are out there already and being tested, then to help with, I call it like pre and post. I'm adjusting my heating. Sales. So before, to help the customer get their questions answered, and maybe it's a bit more with B2C, but it could totally be B2B as well. And to facilitate commerce and helping them to purchase, and then post sales, following up, seeing what else they might want to buy, answering their questions, and then being able to train your business AI in your whole knowledge base and FAQs and even beyond that to almost like anticipate what people's objections might be, you know, that kind of thing. Oh, great. Impact 360 Media. You're saying we have been AI chat for a while, just launched AI voice inbound with outbound coming soon.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
That's amazing.
That's
So yeah,
impressive.
so like making outbound calls, presumably. And yes, some businesses still don't have a website, right? Now, this is a new development. This is Clara Shih, and she was one of the original Facebook app developers in her 20s. I think she's now in her 30s. Maybe she's at 40. I don't know, but she's a very accomplished Silicon Valley expert. Most recently was the CEO of AI at Salesforce, got headhunted by Mark Zuckerberg, and she's now heading up a team at Meta, this product group to build AI tools for businesses. So again, you want to prick up our ears and go, wow, okay, well, we're all businesses here in some, one degree or another. And so, yeah, this is really a pretty big deal. They're going to develop AI tools for the 200 million businesses that use its apps, not least of which, of course, is that what are they calling it? Business, Meta AI for Business, the business chats. Now, I love this slide. This is an animated GIF. Like I say, there's no animation on here. Oh, thanks for that, Anton. I know you keep getting these. Anton's in the background. Yeah, Salesforce Clara Shih is driving AI transformation. Exactly. Yeah, and also then after she I think she sold the Facebook app, she started her own social media company called Hearsay. Some of you might have heard of Hearsay. They're a really accomplished lady, very, very, very nice. So you know that saying that this was really kind of the beginning of the pandemic as well, and then certainly now with AI, everyone's shouting pivot, 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 when really they should be shouting pilot, pilot, pilot. And so many of you might be familiar with a longtime industry friend of mine, Paul Raitzer. He's the founder and CEO of Marketing AI Institute. You can check out his podcast. He does the Marketing AI conference every year. And yeah, so lots of great resources at the Marketing AI Institute.com. And he talks about piloting AI. I think they have even a program there. It's called Piloting AI. So that's a good one there. And I also popped in here Meta AI business use cases. And of course, Wicked is so popular right now. I love that song. But this is, I literally use Meta to ask it. This is Meta AI telling us what are some of the most popular Meta AI business use cases. So certainly customer service, marketing and advertising, language translation. I thought was amazing, and localization, because they've really done well being a global company. You know, they're able to translate it with really good accuracy, data analysis, insights in automation and efficiency, transcribing audio, etc., automating workflows. Well, it's a lot, and I'll imagine that a lot of folks here have not really been using Meta AI to this degree. And keep remembering, by the way, it's free. It's totally free. You don't have to pay for it for now. Anyway, we'll see. All right, I got coming up. This unified metric, I think I have just one slide on this. I wanted to make sure everybody knows about this because it's very, very new. So it's called views. Views is this one unified metric for all content on Facebook and Instagram. This is whether people have seen it on your screen. Instagram introduced it August. You'll see that Adam Mosseri, head of Instagram, did a reel about it in August saying, look, we're going for this one unified metric. And now it's come to Facebook. So whether it's a video, a reel, an image, a carousel, a story, it's all a view. And I literally had to go and connect. 1 second, a sip of water. I had to clarify and confirm with one of my Meta contacts because they never said it publicly. And I'm always concerned when they do stuff like this. I mean, wait a minute. I know that video views were formerly 3 seconds, 3 whole seconds to count as a view. And I knew that Reels plays were always 1 millisecond. So you'd always look like you're getting way more Reels views, plays than you are on your videos. And I'm like, okay, if this is all views, does that mean that everything is now 1 millisecond? And sure enough, they confirm. So the views metric measures the number of times any piece of content appeared in person's screen for 1 millisecond or more. So you might see an increase in your metrics. That's the thing. Keep an eye on that. If you're seeing an increase, that's great. But just know that it isn't that you're suddenly getting a lot more, necessarily more reach. By the way, views are replacing impressions too. And Multiple views by the same person count. So you have one person saw your content 3 times, that will log as 3 views. All right. So professional mode, I just popped. Yes, Scotty, did you want to say something about it?
Yeah, just and also, if you're a social media manager or managing more than like Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, everything, it's just always a good reminder that they aren't like the same as this, right? Like they'll still think of you separately. So like make sure to look. I mean, this is a great update. So make sure to look at like what the latest is in terms of how they're defining their metrics, like on LinkedIn, or if you're even on Blue Sky now, anywhere, because they will look different depending on platform sometimes. And if you're trying to do a comprehensive social media report, you might not be putting everything in one box like you've used to in order to really share the metrics in the right way to be actionable for. So just something to keep in mind, because I've made dashboards that then be like, wait a second, this is not lining up the correct way.
Exactly. Yeah. Professional mode. Let us know in the chat if you have switched your personal profile to professional mode. This is basically Facebook's answer to creators that did not want to create or start a Facebook page, like a public business page. And so I've decided to include this just to kind of alert. We have a lot of agencies that will be tuning into this to, inform folks that this is a possibility. This is available to you if you want it. And what it does is it treats your profile quite a bit more like a page, a business page. You'll get access to metrics. You'll see reach and engagement. You'll see metrics about your audience. You get access to monetization tools if that's important to you. So you could get paid if you get some great content that gets a lot of visibility. Amber saying, I don't have access to professional mode. Yeah, it's weird. You should be able to go to the 3 dots, either mobile or desktop, the 3 dots on your personal profile, and it'll say turn on professional mode. I've been back and forth on this for several years now. It first came out in late 21, I want to say. And at first I saw a massive spike in reach. And then over about 6 months, it just slowly tapered off. And then I'm back now. I'm deciding to switch it. And I'm on professional mode again. And the reach is pretty decent. And so just wanted to let folks know that, because what's going to happen is slowly over the next 6 months, they're automatically converting a profile with public followers. If you have public followers, at some point, it's automatically going to switch over to professional mode. If you don't like it, you can switch back. But eventually, they're going to make it where if you switch back, you'll lose your public followers. So that's something to keep an eye on. Sheila's saying you did switch. Oh, okay, great. Yeah. I kind of like it now. It's fine. It's interesting to see. And boost, by the way, you get the access. Is one of the main reasons to maybe consider doing the switch, is you get access to the boost button on your personal profile. So, all right, let's wrap up with Facebook marketing, what's working today. And any questions at all, feel free to pop in the chat, because we've got time here. We're going to go right to the top of the hour. So your organic social media strategy in 2025, circling back to what Gary Vaynerchuk was talking about in one of my earlier slides, it all starts with excellent original content, creative excellence, video, strong emphasis on video, right? Real, short form, vertical, brilliant, compelling thumbnail, grabbing people's attention with a brilliant hook in the first 1 to 3 seconds. Of course, creating compelling hooks is a brilliant use of AI, ChatGPT or Meta AI, to just get it producing all these wonderful hooks for you. Focusing on videos and images. This is Gary Vaynerchuk said this. I decided to include this. Do you really want to post daily on 7 platforms? If you have the bandwidth to do that, if you're an agency or you're a small business owner and you have the bandwidth, brilliant. If you're more like an independent professional, a solopreneur, it might not be doable for you. But I would say Facebook, Instagram for sure, and then probably YouTube or LinkedIn or X or TikTok, Snap, and that's Gary does Snap and Threads. I put Blue Sky. I did put a little strike through because I'm on the fence personally about Blue Sky, because I think there's a lot of hype around it. A lot of people are going there in droves that are not keen on X, Twitter, or Threads. And yeah, it's a nice concept. It's on the blockchain. It's part of the Fediverse. Is that right? Yeah, it's part of the Fediverse. So it's the decentralized social network. You can take your own data, and apparently they're not using your data to train their AI. and they're not making it all like algorithmically controlled. It's a nice concept, but will my mother go over there? Will the masses leave Facebook and go over there? No, I'm telling you right now, they won't. But I'm delighted that there's a strong competitor, another strong competitor in the space. You also want to just slightly tweak your messaging for each platform to contextualize. Like how you speak to people on TikTok, it's very different to how you speak to people on LinkedIn. So I'm not a big fan of just like one piece of content, one and done, push it out, there it goes to all your platforms. A lot of brands and agencies are viewing social media as distribution, but it's not really the right way to do it. So contextualize is important. Yeah, okay, we'll get to your questions in a moment. We're almost done here. The best Facebook and Instagram content, I put both Facebook and Instagram for sure, your short form video. Even though you can do reels up to 90 seconds, I would recommend keeping them more like in the 20 to 30, maybe 40 seconds, but it just seems the shorter is better. Like if you have something you want to make 3 points, you might even think about making 3 different reels for your 3 points. Right, Scotty? Yeah, you're a pro.
I think you have to take the bias out of the, like, if it's for the company you're working for, or for your agency or a business that you're representing, you have to take out that ingrained interest that of course you have because you're making the content and you think, yes, this is 90 seconds, but of course it looks wonderful. But if I'm just viewing it as a customer, what is your normal behavior, right? Because I follow a lot of comedians and stuff. If it's not something that's entertaining me, within the first 5 seconds, I swipe up,
That's
so like
right.
if it's 90 seconds, that's, the longer it is, sometimes that's the longer window you are giving them not to digest or get all of the content based on their like behaviors of just how fast we consume content. I always ask what's going to stop them from scrolling? I like to think usually I have a good answer, but it's another thing. AI, right? I love an AI prompt, like make it memorable, make it so unique, things that can just, prompt some things that maybe you didn't think of, but I digress.
Yeah, no worries. I hear you. So for sure, live tends to work real well on Instagram in particular, because it's really kind of lo-fi, as they say, and just grab your phone and start broadcasting, maybe bring a guest on there. But the reason I say that is a live always gets featured in the top bubble. I call them the bubbles, the little circles at the top. People have an active story, but if the people who are live, they always get like more priority in that top row of circles. So, and then just Facebook, the text on background color, try asking a compelling question, image post. You could definitely do longer video. You could try landscape for sure on Facebook. They have a new unified video tab, by the way, on Facebook. Very same idea as Instagram. Also, you can do a poll periodically. You can only do a poll when you post on your mobiles. You go to Facebook mobile and you can post on your page and do a poll. I've got some examples coming up in a second. And on Instagram carousels, you can now do up to 20 frames. It used to be 10. And Adam Mosseri, again, said this in the last month or two, that when you add music, either to a single image or a carousel, you can only really do it in the app. It's kind of annoying. You can't do it in Meta Business Suite. You can't do it in third-party tools yet, unless it's like, baked into it or something. But then it would be a video really. But this ability to add music to your static posts, definitely, Adam Mosseri said point blank, it will help you get more reach and more discoverability. So just some quick examples on the left there. That's example of a poll that I did on my Facebook page. And you can see it's got nearly 600 votes. And then that's 2 examples on the middle and the right of what I'm talking about with those large font background color. You can do it in Meta Business Suite and schedule them, mobile or desktop, but you can't do it on any third-party apps. But they work really well. You can see I've got like over 200 comments in the bottom one and 170 on the top one. So I do those periodically. And I just was teaching one of my Facebook organic marketing master classes over the last few weeks. And I had many of my students try this out and they were just blown away by like almost instantaneously got massively more reach than some of their other types of posts. So pepper those in. And then ad formats, and certainly doing a lot of the reels at 15 to 30 seconds, 9x16s. But don't forget static. Don't overlook. Try to do some static. When they call them static, it's just, anything that's not a video, so image ads. And definitely carousel, which you can do on both Facebook and Instagram, or just let it do its own placements. This little image also created by Meta AI. What I asked for, Scotty, is example of a Facebook ad. I did ask it for a cat, and you know how other than hands and fingers and toes, right? It can't get words, right? It just AI seems to scramble lettering or words, and it had misspelled Facebook, so I had to change the prompt. I'm like, could you please spell Facebook? Could you please correct your own typo? And it just had some
Yeah.
garbled letters. So that's as close as we got, just for fun.
Cute AI cat, though.
Yeah, it is a cute AI cat. All right, we're almost done here, and we'll get your questions. And then making use of meta AI, definitely keep a close eye on the business AI developments, and then any other business use cases, as we saw there with Clara Shih now at the helm. And I would imagine they're going to devote an enormous amount of resources between, hiring people, R&D departments, obviously money, into really developing business tools to stand out, and not have people, meta advertisers and business users, migrating to use competitors. They're like, whoa, wait, we can serve you. And then anything, experiment. I often do them side by side. I do a prompt in ChatGPT. I'll do the exact same prompt in Meta AI and just see which one I like better. And invariably they're neck and neck. And sometimes I like Meta AI better than the other. And then to wrap up, I just put everything on one slide for you. What I recommend as your plan going into 2025 is to create this cohesive strategic plan. Includes organic, multiple social, of course, in today's day and age, definitely email, some paid ads. And for some of you, it might be relevant to be building out your community. So creating that exceptional content, testing, iterating, be consistent, diversifying your social platforms. As much as I'm the Facebook queen for 17 years, I'm always like, be active on what I call non-Zuck platforms, like YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, maybe Blue Sky, you name it, right? Wherever your audience is. And absolutely double down on your email address, your email list building, maybe even put in small font there to maybe phone numbers. Some of you are doing more on the SMS marketing, and scrub your list. Tremendous value. Get people used to seeing your emails and loving to open them and nurturing them, right? And then maybe you're building a Facebook group. And then I put our other platforms. For example, I mentioned Paul Raitzer and the Marketing AI Institute. They have an amazing Slack channel. Last I looked, I want to say it has about 8,000 members. It's a free Slack channel, and you can get to it by going, I think they have a tab called Community. It's just free to join. It's a great way. I was like, wow, why aren't more businesses doing this? It's so difficult to get people to open their emails. Why not create a Slack channel as well, right? So I thought that was great. Anyway, that's it from me, and we'll take your questions in a minute here. You can follow me pretty much anywhere as Mari Smith. I'm Mari_Smith on Instagram and Threads. And then I am leading a 3-part training this week coming up, super low price, and I'm teaching you how to do Facebook and Instagram lead generation made simple. It actually starts later today. If you want to join us, you can still jump on in. So with that, Scotty, you feel free to feed me any questions. We've got about 8 minutes left, so that's perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. This was such a great walkthrough, and I think we've seen a lot of good feedback from people in the chat as well, but so important. And I'm definitely going to go test meta.ai and try to treat it like ChatGPT. I honestly haven't done that as much up to this point. So I'm excited to see if Zuckerberg is living up to his expectations. But yes, I do see we have a few questions. So, Sheila switched to professional mode when we mentioned it in your email newsletter. So that's great. Hopefully it's working well so far. Hans has a question. Looking ahead, what new AI ad features do you anticipate Meta rolling out?
Goodness gracious, Hans. I'm almost certain that they will at some point bake the entire capacity of what Meta AI can do into Ads Manager. For right now, they're holding off because of the fact they need to put some guardrails around people going in and doing too many ads with just AI produced images. And there'd have to be the watermark and the declaration. They put the wee thing up there. It says disclaimer. It says AI info. And so for example, right now you cannot go into Ads Manager and just tell it to create an image from scratch, but you can have it enhance an image that you already created. So at some point that will probably come in. But in the Ads Manager, as I mentioned with my slide with the guy with the hands off the steering wheel, I'm pretty certain that one of the goals of Meta AI in the ads manager is to just have advertisers surrender to the AI as much as possible and let the machine do its thing, let the machine learning. For example, even when you go to boost a post or you're using ads manager, it will recommend that you don't go less than 3 days. Right? Defaults, I know mine does anyway. It defaults to 7 days, and I'm like, well, I'm going to peel that back to 3 days. And if you try to peel it, it's like, whoa, no, hey, we need time to test this out and make sure we have it working well. Those of you that advertise, you obviously know about the learning phase. So, yeah, I wish I had more information from you for you, Hans, but not much on the ad side. So, yeah, what else we got?
Let's see. Impact 360 Media. I think this is similar. Oh, Fred, it's professional mode. Oh, I'm not sure if I understand. It's professional mode.
No, professional mode is your Facebook personal profile that you use to make friends, to connect with friends. But what it does is it opens it up in the professional mode to allow anybody to follow you. The public can follow you, and then you also, you can still do that anyway in what they call the classic mode or main mode. But what it allows you to do is nothing to do with building websites. It's basically just letting your content potentially be seen by more people. And then you get access to the boost button and insights, that kind of thing. So,
All right. And then I think this is a good one too from Impact Media, almost a two-parter, but I think maybe even there are external platforms popping up offering AI assists for Facebook and Google Ads. Do you recommend just sticking with Meta AI Original? I believe just using the native platform.
Without having experience with these other third-party tools, I don't know for certain, can't really speak to that, but you can certainly try them. Get a free trial or take it for test run. If they're a Meta partner, then for sure. But just tread cautiously if you're the kind of person that learns by experimentation. I know I am. And just try it out. Otherwise, I would imagine if we all met in 6 months time, maybe 12 months time, we're going to see some massive improvements and developments on the AI side for Meta, both free and paid. There'll be I think these business AIs, they're going to be some level of payment for that at some point. I can't imagine them just doing it all for free. But on the ad side, I doubt there'd be any additional fees in there. Anything they introduce in the ads manager, you'll be able to use.
I had one question that I'm curious about, just with creative optimization. So, what best practices, emerging around using AI to auto-generate and test creative elements, images, headlines, copy. What are those best practices, and how can people utilize that without, losing that unique brand voice as well?
Oh, okay. So I'm really glad this is a perfect place to kind of wrap with, because I don't think I really had it on my slide. Oh, I did. It was the slide about the creative, the advantage plus creative. I talked specifically about it enhancing images. But another aspect that Scotty just brought up correctly there, I love this part. You could literally just put like 2 words. This is inside of Ads Manager when you're creating your ad, not you're not boosting existing posts because it won't let you do much with that, but you're creating an ad from scratch. You've pulled in your media, you put in a couple of words in the primary text, and poof, like instantaneously, it's going to give you all of these generative expanded versions. And to remain authentic, you're going to want to have specific ways to adjust that. For example, I don't know about you, Scotty, but I keep seeing unlock, right? Unlock and discover. Unlock.
Oh, yeah.
And discover is like, would I normally say the word unlock in my, there's certain words that it just seems like every AI uses it. But I love that the AI is giving you options for the headline, for the primary text. In anything in written, the headline, I said headline, primary text, and the CTA button, not so much. You've got just the standard CTAs. But I think that's a great use case. And then it's like, you rephrase it, adjust it, select maybe 3 out of 5. You can regenerate, just really play with it, and then get the ones you want, and then let the machines do the testing for you.
Yeah, definitely. That's funny. I've Yeah, I also think the next level unlock, next level,
Oh,
like some of
right.
those buzzwords I see all the time when I ask for content ideas. So, yeah, I think
Yeah.
as and more largely with what you just shared, it's like I think testing and iterating. Like the more you do it, I think the more you'll get comfortable with what it suggests and what to go with, and how you can remain authentic. But gosh, we are already at the top of the hour, so I think we have to conclude and say goodbye. But yes, please check out Mari's everywhere, right? On social media. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
and
Just Google
um,
me, I like to say. Just Google me, you'll
yeah,
find me.
yeah, definitely. And check out all of the wonderful things that she's doing.
Thank you,
Um,
Carol.
yeah, this was such a pleasure. So thanks for joining us and sharing a ton of this knowledge for anyone that tuned in today.
My pleasure. And if folks have other follow-up questions, feel free to reach out. You can catch me in the DMs, Facebook, Instagram. I'm not so much on LinkedIn, but I get over there eventually. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a great host, Scotty. And cheers to Anton in the background there. So much obliged. You're welcome. See you soon. Thanks, Scotty.
Great. Bye, everyone.